Hello everyone, this is DSA Zindabad. Today we are going to solve the 30th question of our DSA sheet. And the question is, find the index of the first occurrence in a string. So now let's look at the problem statement. So we are given two strings, needle and haystack. You need to return the index of the first occurrence of needle in haystack or -1 if needle is not a part of haystack, right? So now let's try to understand the problem statement. So here is the example, right? Let's say we have given two string. First one is needle, second one is haystack, right? In the question, we have two string, haystack and needle, right? And what we need to do, we need to return the index of the first occurrence of needle in haystack. Basically, like there will be two strings. First one is haystack, right? This is the, like, consider this one is the main string, right? And in this main string, what we need to do, we need to look for needle, like this string, like this can be a substring. You can consider, like, we need to look for this substring in this main string, right? This is what does the question says, right? And what we need to do, we need to return the index of the first occurrence. We need to return the index of the first occurrence of this substring in the main substring. So now let's look at the example. Here we have something like this, sad but sad, right? And this one is a mainstream, and this one is the needle. Like this is the haste, haystack string, right? Needle is sad. So what you need to do, you need to look for this string in the main string, right? And what you need to return the index of the first string. So what we'll do, we'll traverse over this main string and try to figure out, like, what will be the index of the first occurrence. Like for over there, as you can see, like sad is occurring over there, right? This sad is here, and what is the index? Its index is 0. That's why we return 0 over there. Like sad occurs at index 0 and 6, but since the first occurrence is 0, that's why we need to return 0 over there, right? So now let's look at the second example also. Here then main string is Leetcode and the substring is Leeto. So we need to find out Leeto in Leetcode, right? Since there is no Leeto over there in the main string, that's why we need to return -1, right? When we can't find the like needle string in the haystack, right? So now let's jump into the approach and try to figure out how we can solve this question, right? Approach. Like just think about like traversing, like how we are traversing over the entire string, like by following some condition, right? Following some conditions, right? Let's say we have this sad but sad, and we need to look for sad, right? We have let's say this one is the step, this one is the middle, right? So what we'll be doing, we'll just traverse over this entire string, and let's say when we start with this s, right? For this s, what we need to do, we need to look for the other two characters also. Like we need to find the needle in the haystack, so we need to look for three characters in the main string, right? So initially what we'll do, we'll traverse over this and try to compare all the three characters initially, right? So how we are traversing over this, initially these three numbers will be there, after this these three number will be there. So in this way we'll traverse over the entire string, covering three characters at a time, right? So now let's take some different example. Let's say we have a stack something like this, lead code, and the middle one is code. We need to find out like code. So what we'll do, initially we'll look for, like, compare the first occurrence, right? L, since L is not, so we'll directly increment this E is not matching with C, right? So initially what we'll do, we'll try to go for these four characters, right? And again, four characters, and at the end, again, four characters, right? So in this way, we are comparing this entire string in this main string, right? We try to compare each and every character, but like, right? So we just write two for loops, and I guess we are done by following some condition, like if this is equal to the first element or not, like, right? So when we are at this stage, when we compare all the four characters, so we'll directly return the first index of this, which 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, which will be 4, right? So we just need to traverse over the entire string by following some condition, and the condition will be like whether this element is equal to or not. If this element is equal to or not, is equal, then we'll increment the loop, right? Let me just show you this with the help of code so that you guys have a better understanding, right, of like what I'm trying to say. So now let's jump into the coding part, right? So here we are. So we have two strings, haystack and needle. So first of all, let's grab their length, right? Same goes for needle, right? So now we'll traverse over the entire string. Remember, guys, we don't need to traverse over the entire string, like, because we need to look for the like n number of characters, no? Like in n number of characters in the haystack. So that's why we write over there m minus n. Because like let's say we have this something like this, like over there we have code. So when we are at this C, like over there Leetcode, we are at the character C. So there is no need to go for like ODE because we already found like code, right? That's why we write over them m minus n. And after this, we increment the loop. And again, we'll run the inner loop for each and every character until the length of the string, which we need to find out, right? Yeah, this one is the needle, right? Now, if haystack of I plus j is not equal to needle of j, then what you need to do? Then you just need to break, right? If we reach at the end of the string, then we just need to return I over there, like the first occurrence, where we find that string. When we come out of this for loops, and then if we don't find anything, then we just need to return minus one. I guess we are good to go. Now let's submit this. Yeah, this runs perfectly fine. So now let's discuss the time and space complexity for this. Since we are iterating over the string and we use two number of for loops, that's why its time complexity will be big of n into n, which will be big of n square, right? And when you talk about the space complexity, this will be big of 1, since we are not using any extra space over there, right? Guys, this question can be solved in time complexity big of n plus n with the help of KMP algorithm and Rabin curve. If you guys want a complete video on like how we can solve this question with the help of KMP and ribbon ka, please comment on this video, please, right? So that I'll definitely make a separate video on KMP algorithm and ribbon ka, right? I hope all of you get the approach, like how we can solve this question, right? Thank you so much for viewing the video till the end. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Also, like, don't forget to comment if you want a separate video on KMP and ribbon cup, right? So thank you so much.